pop those off so we don't get any glare. Oi, oi! Day 2 of Aintree. I'm recording this just before 1 o'clock on the Thursday, so we haven't had any of the day 1 action going off just yet, so we don't know how things are going to be. Just to touch on, for those of you that will have watched the day 1 video, wow, I mean, I expected Sergino to be a bit weak. I didn't expect it to be 6 to 4 week, which is fine. Like, you can see why with the Hendo Camp stuff, but obviously my entry point on him wasn't the best. And I do pride myself on trying to get in and out of the right sort of prices, but you'll see that even I can get it wrong. Semi-annoying because I still fancy him. I've had a little bit more on, but anywho. Jerry Column as well has drifted out. He went 5.6. I took his 9 to 4. Now he's 3.3 on the exchange. So again, I've topped him up a tiny bit, but is what it is. That's not the point of the video, right? Impere Pass has shortened up nicely, and he sort of is what it is. I wanted to record this before I knew my fate of this day, but then partly as well with the liquidity in the markets, I thought to myself I probably should be waiting until closer to the off or closer to the race to be putting my bets on, which is a different narrative now for Friday's racing. But I am flying away tonight, so Friday, Saturday, I'll basically do day 2's video now, tell you what I have already bet and what I'm proposing to bet. So that's a bit trickier to share the bet slips, right? I haven't put the bets on, but I can share it all after. I'll do my Betfair profit and loss as well. And then Saturday, I'm going to have to do the same. So record that tonight. I'll tell you what I fancy. If I put some bets on, I'll put them on. If not, I might have to play a lot just to Betfair SP, just to wangle away, because I wouldn't be far off. I mean, Impere Pass has gone a point shorter in it, but the other ones have gone out a little bit. It is what it is, right? Let's go. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to skim through the day 2 card and tell you where my thoughts are for bets and what I will probably be doing. First race in the Novices Chase. I know the way you're thinking was obviously very good in that Kim Muir. This is a obviously step into now proper graded racing. I kind of like him as the most likely winner of the race, but it is a very competitive race. He's about 11 to 4. There's a part of me that feels like I'm tempted to bet him at that price. But then if I'd have thought to myself, pre-Kim Muir, would I have wanted to bet him? I think the answer would have been no. So I give him a favourite chance. I don't think I'll bet him. So he's a no bet in there. The 2 mile 4 handicap hurdle, talked about this in the video with Jamie. I really do like in the water side. So at the moment, right, I've had 12.50 in the waterside win on the Betfair exchange. Now, I know there's each way bets that could be up for placing in here, so I might well bet him each way as well. I've also backed Katira, could still get 10s after that was final declaration, so it looks an obvious shortness. So as it stands, I've got 37.50 on Katira and then 12.51 in the waterside. I don't know how much that shows up, but somewhere in it. There's bets on them. So in the waterside would get me 165 back. Katira would get me 370 back in total, but I'm probably going to have a bit more in the waterside. I might do him as sort of an each way bet as well, but they're the 2 of my thought process in that. I think Katira's got an obvious case, right? So is what it is. In the 2 mile novices hurdle, right? Mystical Power versus Firefox. Dysart Enos is in there. Mr. Gift's in there. Golden Ace, Lump Sum. Like it's an okay race, right? I'm waiting for the markets to open up on this. At the moment on Betfair, it's only the win market. Now, Firefox is 7 to 2. He's about 130 with most people. I'm tempted to smash him each way. I do not see how Firefox is outside the first 3, but there's a big part of me that thinks, especially when I'm betting each way, like I want to think they can definitely win the race. I do think he can win, but Mystical Power was quite good in that Supreme too, right? I slightly respect Dysart Enos. Sounds rude to say it, but I do think Firefox has got to be there or thereabouts. So what I'm going to probably do on him is I'm going to try and look at the place market on him on the exchanges, because it will be 3 places. There's 8 runners at the moment. If a non-runner comes in, there will still be 3 places up for grabs on the Betfair exchange. With him being about 130 and there being a little bit of depth in behind, I think I'll probably get 4 to 5 for him just to play. So somewhere around about 4 to 5 or evens, I will try and put some money up on the exchanges to bet him just in the place market. I will have a little bit on him to win as well. So it may be a case, probably, I'm thinking out loud now, right? I probably have maybe what feels comfortable on Firefox at those sort of prices. So I'll probably be happy to have, I don't know. I like when I do the place bit, like I said, I like the win part of it. So I guess I'm thinking at the moment, I'll probably have like 30, 40, 50 quid on him to win, maybe 30, like lower down towards that. And then have like 170 on him to place, because I want that to be the bulk of it. I don't want to throw too much money away on the win part of it, because I feel pretty sure he's going to place. I'd like to think he's got a chance of winning, but we are where we are on that one. And then in the Melon Chase, I'm real torn on this one, because again, it looks very, very competitive. I do like John Bon, right? And I do think that John Bon's got a chance of being as good at 2.5 miles as he is at 2 miles. Pic Dory obviously did win here before, but I didn't like the fact that he got beat that year when Miller's Bank won the race. Ground would probably be soft enough for him. And obviously he has won here and he is good here, but people say about him being better right-handed. I don't know if that is strictly true, but he's got his chance, but I'm a tiny bit worried about him. John Bon I do like, but obviously it's this tiny question mark on his 2.5 mile form. And also when you look at his 2 mile form, like, is he that worldy? But I think the types of horses that we're going up against here, Pic D'Orhy, Protectorate, and even Envoy are very good horses. So he's going to need to be his best to do it. He's about 5-2. That doesn't really fill me with the, I really need to get stuck into him type vibes. So he'd be a bit like, I know the way you're thinking in that Novices Chase at the beginning, like, I think he's the one that I'd want to bet if I was going to bet something. I don't like him at the price. So I think I will probably swerve the Melon Chase. That'll be mid-wedding ceremony as well. So shouldn't be watching the racing, should I? Then in the Topham, I think it is, Bill Baxter's favourite in there. Shake 'em Up Harry's in there in second. Your Darling's there. Arizona Cardinal. I talked about my shortlist on this and said in the video with Jamie that I've got a few on there. So Life in the Park, James de Burley, and Phlegmatic were the few that are on my shortlist. So I've had a bit of a play on them. I've backed Phlegmatic each way with Betfair, 40-1. Plenty of places, 12.50 each way on him. Then I had 12.50 win on James de Burley and 12.50 win on Life in the Park. So I've thrown 50 quid at the race. Probably thrown 50 quid away on that race, I'd imagine. But yeah, they are where they are. The 3-mile Grade 1 Novice Hurdle, I talked about Jukebox Man being probably the obvious one to win the race, but he couldn't really bring myself, even though I knew he was going to run, to bet him at 5 or 6-1 in the short to money post market. That wasn't for fear of losing my money in that market. It was just I didn't want to bet him. He's 7-2 now, so he is definitely short enough. Reading Tommy wrong, I don't think ran his race at Cheltenham in the slightest, so he's obvious to have a bit of a chance in there. I mean, I still think Dancing City's better than he showed the last day as well. We'll have to see how he goes. Shanna Bob would need to have matured. I don't think he probably has by now, but if he has, he's a threat in there as well. So bit of a minefieldy type race. I didn't even want to bet the Jukebox Man when he was 5 and 6-1, even though I thought he probably was an all right chance in there. There are 9 places up for grabs. May be the case that it gets to a bit of an each way swing, but I think there's 4 or 5 that you probably give a bit of a chance to. And then even horses like Kintara that loves the mud and does stay all day, it just looks a bit of a warped minefield, right? So, sounding not very excited about Friday, right? And this is before Sergino's run. Come on, the Gino, he's going to win. In the last race, I do like Barley or Bally. It's Hobbs White and Callum Pritchard takes the ride. I think that's got a squeak. And I also had Party Vibes on the shortlist as well. I think it's got a squeak. Neither of those would be mad strong fancies in a handicap. Like Lily DeBow that's supposed to run last weekend at Kelso, I'd have had a chunk on her at 13-2. These are more interest type bets. So I know it's been commented on the video, obviously chucking 250 quid on a Sergino and then having £12.50 each one of these other ones. I obviously am trying to bet to make money out of it. I'm sharing my views with you and what I actually fancy, full stop. I don't want to be the guy that says I'm having £500 on everything or £250 on everything and not tell you about the £12.50 ones. And then when we talk in the next video, I'll be like, oh, yeah, I also had £12.50 on that. I want to tell you everything I've bet, right? So those ones I'd probably say are more, not so much betting for the sake of betting, but like they're intrinsically linked, aren't they? Horse racing and gambling. And I like to have an interest in them. I like to have a vested interest, especially when I'm looking at races and I think, actually, that's got a bit of a chance. But I am taking a bit of a swing on some of them. When there's much more substantial form, you'll know this from the past, I'm a bit of a graded snob. When there's more substantial form and depth to it, I'm more confident in having a bit more money on. And I feel more comfortable with it as well because obviously, yes, I'd always want to get in at the top prices, but I won't regret betting Sergino today, regardless of the result. Won't regret betting Jerry Colomb, regardless of the result. The only thing is I probably could have done better with the prices. So that's, we learn all the time, don't we? Like I say, I think I'm quite good with my in and out prices, but in this instance, I was to and fro and I'm an R in, and I was scared, probably more FOMO of I didn't want them to get shorter and not bet them, which I probably should have allowed to happen if that was the case. But is what it is, right? I'm sharing everything that I've bet in there. I don't know what else there'd be. So I'm going to quickly just run back through all the races just to sort of summarize because I haven't struck all the bets. I've shared a few bits and pieces in here with some that I have bet. So the first race, I won't be having a bet. I will just leave that alone. Again, from a punty sake, if I was there at the race and I was just having a few beers, I probably would have a small bet on the I know the way you're thinking, but I don't want to. The second race, Katira, I've got 37.50 on her. 10-1, I backed that on the exchange. So, like I said, I got 370 quid back from the outlay on Betfair Exchange. I will not bother about an each way bet on that. In the Waterside, I have already bet to win as well. 12.50 win. I will definitely bet in the Waterside each way as well. If I can, about 10-1, 12-1 plus-ish, I'll probably look at having probably 25 each one in the Waterside. I won't actually. I'll tell a lie on that one. I got the 12.50 there. Oh, fucking hell, fumbling, right? I don't know. Maybe I won't. Maybe I'll leave it as that. We'll just leave it as that, right? I've had £12.50 win on in the water side, £37.50 on Katir. We will leave it as that. I won't mess about with smaller bits on the other ones. The Grade 1 Novice Hurdle, I'm gonna bet Firefox, right? If I can get 4-1 and back him each way when I can guarantee that the 3 places would hold up, then I would do that. But I can't guarantee the 3 places will hold up. I think they will. I think we'll still get all 8 runners. But this would be the type of stuff, right, where I'd rather be wait until the day to be choosing my position on this, and I don't have that luxury this weekend, which is fine. But I'm going to look to probably just have a good slap on Firefox in the place market. That's the view on there. So I reckon I'll probably throw 200 quid at the race. I think I'll probably have. I'm like, I don't know what I'll get on him for the place part. I'm hoping I can get 4 to 5 about him. He might be 2s on, given the nature that the first 3 in the betting are relatively short. We'll see. But if I can get like 4 to 5 even money about him, I'm happy to have like 175 on him there, and I might have a 25 quid win just to touch it up a little bit. I probably should in this instance just back all the play stuff, shouldn't I? But maybe it's my punty side and it's the end of the season. Maybe I'm tired. Melon Chase, I kind of wanted to find a way to bet John Bond. I don't really feel like I can at the price. I feel like I'm going to have to let that race go. 2 mile 5 handicap chase, touched on a few in there, the Topham Life in the Park, James de Burley, £12.50 win singles on those. And then I've had a £12.50 each way on Phlegmatic for the Skeltons at 40 to 1. I think that's got a bit of a squeak. I know it's probably got bigger targets down the line, but I don't know. It ticks a lot of boxes as well for this race. In the Sefton, the 3 mile Grade 1 Novice Hurdle, I won't be having a play in there. It looks a good race though. And then in the handicap, the last race, I have backed Bawley, and I've also backed Party 5. £12.50 win singles again. Lower, smaller stakes for the Friday. Views are slightly more limited in this. I'll do a video tonight for all my bets for day 3. At that point, if the place markers and things are up, I can probably share the slips and things on that video, but I don't suppose it matters too much. I can share a profit and loss for Aintree like I did for Cheltenham after. Anyway, waffled long enough. Please let's get some good action today. Obviously, I've bet certain horses. You'll know that from my day 1 video. Obviously, I would like them to win. I'd like to win every bet that I strike, but they are what they are. Obviously, gamble responsibly. It's easy to get overly excited, I think, sometimes because it's a big festival. Obviously, the first day, I've had a good few bets in there. If they'd have been spread across the different days, I wouldn't have been doing anything differently, right? I just had a bit of a stronger opinion on the ones on the first day. It's not by design that I've just gone in hard on the first day. Saturday, there will be a few bets, but just make sure you're subscribed so you can come back and see the day 3 videos that will come out tonight. So again, I know I've left it late for the video, but make sure you like the video if you can. Drop a comment below because that always helps. And make sure you are subscribed to the channel. Be lucky. And yeah, I will see you again very soon.